Good morning. Welcome to Pecan Corner. I'm Tina, and today I'm planting my garlic. That one that you see there is one that I failed to gather last year, and it's come back this year. What I'm going to do is of the garlic that I plant, I'm only going to gather half of it, and I'm going to try to let the best ones naturalize in my ground. I've been planting it every year and gathering it all, but I'm at a point now where every year there's going to be a little more challenges. So this is what I'm going to do. What I'm using for this was an old child's sandbox. It hasn't been played in 15 years, I guess. But it's just sand. Somebody had dug out the dirt, which our dirt is pretty much clay, and they put a lot of play sand on top of it. So there's not really much grass that grows in it. Just these kind of fall weeds are growing right now. But I don't worry too much about that. The little thing that I'm using to dig it with, let me turn this off for a second and then I'll show you. Okay, I got this silly little tool. I bought it years ago at an auction for $1. Actually, I think I got it in with some other things that I wanted. I tend to buy my yard tools at estate sales or any place where I can find antique ones, because the modern ones that just have that stop that goes up inside a collar don't hold up, whereas the old ones where the collar is made of iron and welded to an iron tool, those will last and last, and all you have to do is replace the handle once in a while. For a good example, the reason is yesterday my stepbrother came over and helped me burn a burn pile, and in the midst of that my rake broke. Well, if you've ever done a burn, you know you kind of need to rake or shovel those coals as it dies down up into the middle of it. And so I ended up having to use my shovel and my hoe, and didn't have my rake available for some of that work. And it's because it was a recently made hoe that just has that one stop that pokes up into that collar and in the handle, and they won't hold up. So anyway, I've had this silly little thing, and it's got I don't even know what the name of it is. Oh, there it is. Garden claw. Let me see if you can see that. Garden claw. Okay, and now it's not very good for very many things, but it's good for cultivating. And so what I can do with it particularly in this bed that's just sand because it's so loose anyway, is I just put it in there, and it loosens my earth really good, and I can plant my garlic. Garlic is a bulb. Just needs to be, the little cloves just need to be poked down into the soil about 2 inches. So, and see, there we go now. And then all I have to do is just lift these weeds right out of the way. They're not going to be a problem. They're just fall weeds that'll die back in the winter. They're not going to interfere with this garlic at all, nor with the way it grows. All right, now, so that's all the prep work that I'm doing. Garlic is not only healthy to eat and flavorful, and if we're ever in a prepping situation, we're going to need those flavorful foods to kind of reduce the severity of a limited diet. Anybody that remembers what grocery stores looked like 50 years ago compared to now kind of understands what I'm talking about. But at the same time, garlic is also a natural antibiotic. It will help prevent wounds from getting infected. It can also have some antibiotic activity inside the body. So it's really, it's also antibacterial. So you can actually use a garlic infusion to to kind of kill germs on surfaces or on your hands. So there's a lot of reasons to have a good stand of garlic on your property. Now I have, let me see if I can do this without making you seasick. I have some wild garlic that is heirloom to the blanket area. It's actually, they say it's elephant garlic, which is actually more of a leek than garlic, but it just grows wild all over town. And local young man, Josh gave me a start of it a couple of years ago, and so I've got that now. But I'm going to try to naturalize some of these others. I've bought seed garlic in past, and I've found that actually grocery store garlic will grow as well or even better for me than that expensive seed garlic. The key is with grocery store garlic to get it grown in the USA or in Mexico, not in China. And so these, I followed Bob Anderson's instructions, and I peeled my cloves and I put them in water with a little baking soda, a tablespoon of baking soda to a gallon of water, and left them for overnight, left them for 24 hours. And that helps kill some pathogens that might be in them. Then you just dip them in a rubbing alcohol bath for a couple of minutes, right immediately before planting. So as you can see, these things were so ready to grow. They were sprouting leaves within about 2 hours of me putting them in that baking soda water. They just went kaboom. So they're already raring to go. So here we go. Let me just get this back together here. Okay, and this is all it takes to plant your garlic. You can put this into a flower bed if you want to. If you don't have an outlet, you can put it in out of the way spots on your property, in the corners next to the fence lines. They are a really good spot. That way you don't have to worry about mowing it down or it getting in the way of anything that you want to plant there. You can, and see what all I'm doing is just poking this in down in this loose dirt about 2 inches down for our spots here in Texas, and just covering it over, and it'll grow right up out of the dirt there. It'll start its sprouting now. It'll make its leaves, and then it'll grow through until spring, when you can either gather it or just leave it for next year. Then the leaves will all die back, and then in about October next year, it'll start coming up again, just like any other bulb that you grow. So that's the thing. Just treat it like bulbs, and I'm putting these about 3 inches apart. If you want them, that's about as far as they need to make some nice size cloves. They don't have to be real far apart. They don't need any care. The nice thing about planting in the fall and winter here in Texas is it's so hot and dry in the summer that anything I can plant this time of year can get some moisture and is going to get a much better start than things that are going to have to grow in that dry air, because no matter how much you water, if the air itself is dry and you don't have humidity around it, things won't grow well. So there we go. I'm going to get going on this, but I just wanted to, since it's that time of year, I just wanted to show y'all how we did this. I think I've got some other garlic videos. I've got one about I've got one video about harvesting it, and I've got another one about making garlic braids. And then finally, I think I've got one about making garlic powder, because your garlic won't keep year-round fresh. So you either have to put it back in the ground if you've gathered it, or you have to dehydrate it and grind and turn it into garlic powder, garlic flakes. I have found that, well, there's a video on that. Anyway, thanks for watching. I appreciate you stopping by. Have a great November. Bye.